Good morning. Anthropic has launched Claude Sonnet 4.5, a new flagship model it claims surpasses all competitors, including GPT-5, in coding and agentic capabilities. With the ability to perform autonomous tasks for over 30 hours, is the era of the AI software developer already here? In job news, German airline giant Lufthansa has announced it will eliminate 4,000 administrative jobs by 2030, explicitly naming AI as a key driver for the restructuring. Is this the first domino to fall in a wave of white-collar job displacement across legacy industries? And OpenAI has revealed it is now automatically routing certain user prompts to more restrictive safety models when it detects potentially harmful intent. While aimed at preventing misuse, does this lack of transparency risk infantilizing users and censoring legitimate queries? Plus, following a tragic lawsuit alleging ChatGPT encouraged a teen's suicide, OpenAI has rolled out extensive parental controls. While the new tools offer more oversight, do they truly address the fundamental risks of vulnerable users forming relationships with AI? All of this including AI world models, some unfortunate hate speech, the agent economy, AI-assisted shopping, DeepSeek's new version, deepfake threats, and a positive note from Amazon. All that in today's episode of AI in the AM for Wednesday, October 1st, 2025. First up, in a major move that escalates the AI arms race, Anthropic announced the immediate availability of its latest flagship model, Claude Sonnet 4.5. The company made bold claims, positioning the model as the best coding model in the world and the most powerful tool for building complex, autonomous AI agents. This release is not just an incremental update, it represents a strategic push into the burgeoning agent economy, underscored by the simultaneous launch of a comprehensive Claude Agent SDK. The model's standout feature is its ability to conduct autonomous tasks, particularly coding, for over 30 consecutive hours, a significant leap from the 7-hour capability of its predecessor. This long horizon focus is designed for end-to-end software development, from planning and debugging to large-scale refactoring. Anthropic backed its claims with impressive benchmark results, showing Sonnet 4.5 outperforming competitors like OpenAI's GPT-5 and Google's Gemini 2.5 Pro on key real-world coding evaluations like SWE Bench, Verified, and Terminal Bench. Beyond coding, the model shows enhanced domain knowledge in finance, law, medicine, and cybersecurity, and leads in computer use tasks as measured by the OS World benchmark. The release was a coordinated industry event, with Sonnet 4.5 immediately available on major platforms including Amazon Bedrock, Google Cloud's Vertex AI, and as an option within GitHub Copilot, signaling deep integration into the developer ecosystem. However, despite the polished launch and glowing partner testimonials from companies like Canva and Figma, the reception within the developer community has been more nuanced. Some early adopters on forums like Hacker News reported issues with the model's tool calling workflows in real-world applications, and noted that its pricing, while unchanged from Sonnet 4, remains significantly higher than competitors like GPT-5 Codex, raising questions about its cost-effectiveness at scale. Speaking of OpenAI, they've implemented a new internal system called safety routing that automatically redirects user prompts to different, more restrictive AI models when it detects potentially harmful or sensitive content. This means that if a user's query is flagged by the system, for example, if it touches on emotional distress or topics that could be misused, it is silently handled by a model with stricter guardrails rather than the standard GPT-4o or GPT-5 model. The company's goal is to prevent the generation of harmful outputs and to better manage conversations in sensitive areas, particularly in response to criticism following incidents where the chatbot allegedly gave dangerous advice. However, the system operates without notifying the user that their query has been rerouted. This lack of transparency has drawn criticism from some users and experts, who argue that it can feel paternalistic and raises questions about censorship. The move highlights the ongoing challenge for AI companies in balancing user freedom with the critical need to prevent their powerful tools from being used for malicious purposes or causing unintended harm. Relatedly, and facing both intense scrutiny and a wrongful death lawsuit, OpenAI has launched a comprehensive suite of parental controls for ChatGPT, aiming to create a safer environment for teenage users. The move is a direct response to a lawsuit from the parents of Adam Rain, a 16-year-old who died by suicide after allegedly being coached by the chatbot. The new features, available immediately on the web, allow a parent to link their account with their teens, granting them oversight and control. Parents can now set quiet hours to limit usage, disable features like voice mode and image generation, and prevent conversations from being used for model training. Crucially, linked teen accounts automatically receive stronger content filters designed to reduce exposure to graphic content, harmful viral challenges, and themes of sexual role-play or extreme beauty ideals. Perhaps the most significant feature is a new notification system designed to alert parents if ChatGPT detects signs of acute distress or potential self-harm in a teen's conversation. A specialized team at OpenAI will review flagged conversations and contact parents via multiple channels if a serious risk is identified. However, the system is designed with a careful balance of safety and privacy. Parents will not have direct access to their teens' chat logs. Experts and advocacy groups like Common Sense Media have described the controls as a good starting point, but emphasize they are not a panacea, as teens must opt in and can unlink their accounts at any time. Now let's talk about the job market, where the impact of AI is becoming increasingly clear. In a move sending ripples through the European corporate landscape, Lufthansa Group announced on Monday a strategic plan to cut 4,000 administrative jobs by 2030. The German aviation giant explicitly cited profound changes brought about by digitalization and artificial intelligence as the primary enablers for this workforce reduction. The cuts, which represent about 4% of the company's workforce, will predominantly affect roles in Germany and will focus on administrative functions rather than operational staff like pilots or cabin crew. The airline stated the goal is to increase efficiency, eliminate duplicated work through better integration of its subsidiary airlines, including Swiss, Austrian, and Brussels Airlines, and ultimately boost its operating margin to a target of 8–10%. This announcement is significant as it represents one of the first instances of a major, non-tech, unionized European industrial company publicly linking a long-term workforce reduction directly to a forward-looking AI strategy, rather than solely to immediate economic pressures. The German trade union Verdi immediately criticized the decision, vowing to fight the drastic cuts and warning of the severe impact on office workers. A union representative argued that rising operational costs and environmental regulations also share responsibility, calling on the government to provide greater support for the aviation sector. While Lufthansa has committed to carrying out the reductions in consultation with social partners, specific details regarding support or retraining programs for the affected employees have not yet been released. The move places Lufthansa alongside tech companies like Salesforce and Accenture in leveraging AI for workforce restructuring, signaling that AI-driven job displacement is now a concrete, long-term business strategy for legacy industries. On a more futuristic note, have you heard of world models? As the rate of improvement in large language models, LLMs, begins to show signs of slowing, major AI research labs are reportedly shifting significant resources toward this new frontier. Unlike LLMs, which are trained primarily on text to predict the next word, world models are designed to build an internal, predictive simulation of reality itself. By training on vast amounts of multimodal data, including video and sensory inputs, These models learn the fundamental physics of how the world works, how objects interact, how events unfold, and the consequences of actions. The goal is to create AI systems that possess a deeper, more intuitive understanding of cause and effect, enabling them to reason, plan, and solve problems in a way that current LLMs cannot. This investment represents a bet that simulating reality is the key to achieving more general and robust artificial intelligence. While the technology is still in its early stages, the focus on world models by leading firms like OpenAI, Google DeepMind, and Meta suggests a major strategic pivot in the long-term quest for artificial general intelligence, AGI. Unfortunately, not all AI news is positive. The proliferation of accessible generative AI tools is fueling a dangerous surge in hate speech and political misinformation in India, according to a new analysis. Malicious actors are leveraging AI to create and disseminate content designed to stoke religious and ethnic tensions, spread false narratives, and incite violence. The content, which often includes deepfake images and videos, is tailored to local languages and cultural contexts, making it highly effective and difficult to detect. This trend is particularly concerning in India's diverse and often politically charged social landscape. The report highlights the challenges faced by social media platforms and fact-checkers in keeping up with the sheer volume and increasing sophistication of AI-generated propaganda. The issue underscores the dark side of democratized AI, where powerful tools for content creation can be easily repurposed for malicious ends, posing a significant threat to social cohesion and democratic stability. On a more optimistic note, the agent economy is officially booming. Venture capital is flowing into a new category of AI startups focused on building the foundational infrastructure for an emerging genre. A prime example is Paid, a startup led by former Microsoft executive Manny Medina, which has raised a substantial $21 million seed round. Paid is not building AI agents itself. Instead, it is creating a platform to help other companies bill their customers based on the results their AI agents achieve. This results-based billing model is seen as a critical component for the commercialization of autonomous AI. Other startups like Actual AI are also securing funding to build specialized agents for specific enterprise tasks, such as assisting engineering managers. This wave of investment signifies a market shift beyond simply creating more powerful AI models. The focus is now on the ecosystem of tools, platforms, and financial plumbing needed to deploy, manage, and monetize swarms of autonomous AI agents that can perform complex tasks for businesses. These developments suggest the groundwork is being laid for a new economic paradigm where digital agents are not just tools, but active participants in value creation. And in a move that absolutely no one saw coming, yeah, right, OpenAI has made a significant leap into the e-commerce industry with the launch of Buy It in ChatGPT, a new feature enabling users to purchase products directly within the chatbot interface. The initiative, rolling out in the US, is supported by initial partnerships with major online marketplaces Etsy and Shopify, as well as the payment processor Stripe. This move positions ChatGPT as a direct competitor to established e-commerce search giants like Google and Amazon by allowing users to go from product discovery to purchase in a single, seamless conversation. The system is built on an open-source framework called the Agentic Commerce Protocol, ACP, which OpenAI is encouraging other retailers and payment platforms to adopt. The protocol allows AI agents to perform commerce-related tasks on behalf of users, such as finding products, comparing prices, and completing checkouts. For users, this means they can ask ChatGPT for gift ideas, receive curated suggestions from Etsy or Shopify merchants, and complete the purchase using Stripe without ever leaving the chat. For merchants on partner platforms, their products will become discoverable and purchasable through ChatGPT, opening a new channel for customer acquisition. The The strategy represents a radical shift for OpenAI, moving beyond a subscription-based model to one that could generate significant revenue from transaction fees and retail partnerships, fundamentally altering the landscape of online shopping. Turning to the latest and greatest in the AI one-upsmanship cycle, Chinese AI company DeepSeek has released an experimental new model, DeepSeek v3.2 XP, marking what it calls an intermediate step toward its next-generation architecture. The key innovation is the implementation of a sparse attention mechanism, a technical approach that allows the model to process information more efficiently. This breakthrough enables DeepSeek to significantly reduce the computational resources required for training and inference, which translates directly to lower costs for developers using its API. The company announced it is cutting API pricing by as much as half, making its models more competitive against offerings from OpenAI and Anthropic. The new architecture is particularly effective at handling long text scenarios, allowing the model to process extensive documents with greater speed and lower cost. This focus on efficiency is seen as a crucial strategy for Chinese AI firms, which face restrictions on accessing the most advanced AI chips from US companies like NVIDIA. By optimizing their model architecture to do more with less computational power, companies like DeepSeek can remain competitive in the global AI race. The release, timed just before China's National Day holiday, underscores the rapid pace of innovation within the country's burgeoning AI sector as it vies for leadership in the field. Now for a deeply concerning story. Artificial intelligence is being weaponized to harass and intimidate female judges, according to a new report from the 19th News. These judges are being targeted with malicious campaigns that include AI-generated pornographic deepfakes, doxing, the public release of private information, and other forms of online abuse. The attacks are often orchestrated by disgruntled litigants or extremist groups aiming to undermine the judge's authority, discredit them personally, and create an environment of fear. This trend represents a dangerous escalation of online harassment, as the increasing sophistication and accessibility of deepfake technology make it easier than ever to create convincing and damaging synthetic media. The report highlights the unique vulnerability of women in public-facing roles and raises urgent questions about legal recourse and platform responsibility. While law enforcement and judicial security bodies are aware of the threats, the fast-evolving nature of the technology and the often anonymous or transnational origins of the attackers make prevention and prosecution incredibly difficult, posing a significant threat to the safety and integrity of the judicial system. Finally, we'll end on an inspiring note. Amazon Web Services, AWS, has showcased a groundbreaking application of generative AI that translates the visual medium of comic books into an accessible format for blind and visually impaired individuals. The pioneering app uses a multimodal AI model to analyze the panels of a comic book, identifying characters, settings, actions, and even the emotional tone of the artwork. It then generates rich, descriptive audio narration that captures not only the dialogue, but also the visual storytelling elements that are crucial to the comic book experience. This technology goes beyond simple text-to-speech by interpreting the complex interplay of images and text, effectively creating an audiobook version of the graphic novel. The project serves as a powerful demonstration of how generative AI can be used to bridge accessibility gaps, opening up a world of visual culture and art to communities that were previously excluded. It highlights the potential for AI to be a force for inclusivity, using its advanced pattern recognition and generation capabilities to create novel solutions for long-standing accessibility challenges. That's all the time we have for today's AI in the AM, and thanks for watching.